In a world where healing magic is regulated and human lives are priced like merchandise, one man breaks every rule to save the forgotten. They call him Xenos, the unlicensed healer. He doesn't ask for money, he asks for something far more dangerous: souls, secrets, and loyalty that can never be broken. This is the story of a healer who saves lives, not for justice, not for fame, but to reshape fate itself. A long time ago, there was a land tucked between wide rivers and deep forests. People called it Eldom, and it had a special kind of fame, not for warriors or gold, but for its healers. Folks from nearby towns would travel for days just to get treated there. The kingdom had strict rules. If someone wanted to be an official healer, they had to go through years of learning and pass tough tests before getting a license. But there was this one guy, Jace. No license, no training from fancy schools, just raw talent. He was a natural. People came to him with injuries, sickness, and all sorts of problems. He didn't wear the kingdom's official robes or carry a badge, but somehow word kept spreading about him, and he helped everyone who knocked on his door. Now let's jump to Jace's small house on the edge of town. His assistant, Mandy, was already up before the sun, brewing coffee and moving around the kitchen. She nudged him awake like she always did, got him his drink, and started planning the day while he stretched and yawned. After a quiet morning, Jace treated a farmer with a nasty back injury. The man tried to tip him, and Jace didn't say no. He had bills to pay too. Later, Mandy checked in with him about the day's schedule. He had a couple of house calls lined up and promised he'd be home before it got too dark. Mandy said she'd have dinner ready and told him not to be late. While Lily was busy cooking dinner, Carmilla dropped by. Lily was still working in the kitchen, trying to make everything perfect. She wanted it to turn out amazing. After all, she saw herself as the future Mrs. Xenos. Carmilla smiled and went to relax while Lily kept working. Soon, a girl named Zofa showed up at the door asking about Xenos. Lily let her know he wasn't home yet, just out doing his usual house visits. Zofa said she'd hang around and wait. A little later, another girl named Linga came by with the same question. Lily told her the same, he'd be back soon. Zofa wasn't thrilled and told Linga to go back home, but Linga refused and said she'd wait too. Then a third girl, Loy, showed up looking for Xenos. Lily told her to wait with the others since he wasn't home yet. All three of them decided to stick around and wait for him. As Lily finished cooking, she offered to serve the food, but the girls said they'd wait for Xenos to eat together. Lily stepped outside for a bit to bring in the laundry and told them to keep an eye on the food. But once she left, the smell in the kitchen was just too tempting. One by one, the girls gave in and started eating. Before long, all the food was gone. Lily came back and was shocked. Everything she cooked had vanished. She asked what happened, but none of them gave a clear answer at first. Eventually, they started pointing fingers, each blaming the others. Things got a little heated, and it looked like they were about to start a full-on argument. Lily reminded them that Xenos wouldn't be happy if he saw them fighting. She told them she wanted everyone to eat together, not like this. The girls felt bad and apologized, offering to help make a new meal, but Lily told them they were out of ingredients. That's when Carmilla came back and found out what had happened. She was disappointed too. She had been looking forward to that meal. Lena quickly went over to apologize, and the others followed. They knew they messed up. Lily told them if they wanted to make it right, they had to bring back the best ingredients they could find. Once they were alone, Carmilla quietly asked Lily if she was still upset. Lily told Carmilla she wasn't that mad, just a little upset because that was the last of the herbs she had. Carmilla laughed it off, saying she wouldn't have been so calm if it were her. But Lily just brushed it off. She wanted to finish the meal before Xenos came back, even if things didn't go as planned. Meanwhile, Xenos was on his way home when he noticed a girl on the ground clearly in pain. As he watched, a man, her boss, showed up and started yelling at her. She tried to explain she'd been sick and had gone to the hospital, but they refused to treat her since she didn't have money. The boss didn't care. He grabbed her roughly and dragged her off, saying she had no excuse to skip work. They ended up near some old graves, and things got worse. He pushed her hard, and she slammed into one of the tombstones. That's when something weird happened. A strange spirit rose from the grave and slipped into her body. The boss, still fuming, told her to get back to work or he'd make her regret it. He even kicked her while shouting about money. But this time, something had changed. The girl hit back, and it wasn't just a small hit. She seriously hurt him, and he ran off in fear. While escaping, the boss ran into Xenos and begged for help, saying his servant had gone crazy. Xenos was confused and asked where she was. The boss pointed at the girl, who was slowly making her way toward them. Xenos wanted to understand what was going on, but the boss just said it was farming work and tried to act like nothing strange had happened. He warned Xenos not to get involved and even threatened to charge him if anything happened. The girl suddenly charged at them. Xenos quickly moved the boss out of the way, trying to figure out what had made her so furious. She began throwing rocks at him, but Xenos dodged everything easily. The boss begged Xenos to do something, anything, to stop her. But Xenos refused to kill her. That wasn't his way. The boss just said he'd replace her with another worker, but Xenos ignored him. Then the girl threw a huge rock at Xenos, but he blocked it and shattered it. She rushed at him again with full force. He avoided every blow, then blocked her final strike, sending her flying into a nearby building. Xenos approached her slowly. She couldn't move anymore. He knelt beside her and placed his hands over her, using his healing skills to remove the dark spirit that had possessed her. While doing so, he wondered how simple farm work could lead to someone getting taken over by an evil spirit. Once the girl was safe, he stood up. The boss, shocked by what he just saw, asked if Xenos could also heal him, but Xenos said he was done for the day. The boss begged, saying he could die from his injury. Xenos replied that treatment would cost more. The boss quickly handed over a bag of money, but Xenos said it still wasn't enough. The boss was confused. He offered more than the usual rate. That's when Xenos told him something unexpected. He wasn't even a licensed healer. He worked in secret. The boss stood there, stunned, while Xenos simply walked away. Xeno told the boss that what he was doing was basically illegal, kind of like stealing from graves. He said healing the girl wasn't cheap, so he'd take her with him to settle the difference. The boss didn't argue, he just gave the go-ahead and left. Xeno took the girl's documents to make it official, then sat beside her until she woke up. When she opened her eyes, she was confused and asked who he was. Xenos let her know that she now belonged to him and asked for her name. She said her name was Tell. Since she was still hurting, Xenos needed to examine her and asked her to get ready for that. He'd spent a lot healing her, so he needed to check everything. He looked her over and confirmed what he suspected. She had a stomach issue, probably from being hunched over all the time. Without using any kind of tool or spell, he fixed her up right away. He told her he had opened her up, removed the problem, and closed her back up, but there was no scar or sign it even happened. Tell was shocked. No magic, no surgery, no wounds, just like that. She couldn't believe it. She thanked him and said she didn't know how to repay him. Xenos told her that thank you wasn't enough. He said he wanted something in return and that she'd need to start working for him right away. She agreed without hesitation and said she'd serve him however he needed. He gave her a task, finding something listed in an old book. Tell was confident and led the way. When they reached the right spot, she picked the plant and asked if that was the one. Xenos said it was and told her she had completed the job he gave her. She looked surprised and asked if that was really it. She thought he wanted more from her, but he said that was enough. She'd done what he asked, and now her debt was cleared. He explained that fairness works both ways. You should be rewarded for helping someone, and if someone helps you, you should return the favor fairly. Tell still felt like she hadn't done anything big, but Xeno said otherwise. Finding that plant was important, and he wouldn't have been able to do it without her. Then he ended the contract between them and told her she was free to go. Tell admitted she didn't have a place to go, but said she wanted to experience life and figure things out on her own. She promised that once she learned more about life, she'd come back and tell him all about it. She also asked if she could visit sometime. Xeno said she could drop by whenever she wanted, and added that if she ever got sick again, he'd treat her for free. He then went back home, and Layla was there to greet him, saying the food wasn't ready just yet. Soon after, 3 other girls showed up. Zenas was surprised and asked what they were doing there. They reassured him everything was fine. Layla walked over to them, excited about all the tasty food they had brought, and couldn't believe how much there was. Zenos headed into the kitchen to get a pot ready and started adding herbs to it. Carmilla was there too, and he asked if she had come along as well. Layla joined them, saying she was about to make a big meal, starting with some black tea. That's it for the first episode. Like, subscribe, and drop a comment if you're ready for more.